Hi everybody, welcome back. We're going to do an 8-inch round. We're going to use these colors and do a bloom, but first I wanted to test the color. So this is a 4-inch tile, and that's quinacridone magenta from Atelier Free Flow, and this is Matisse Cad Yellow Medium, golden phthalo turquoise, and golden teal. And I'm going to use a blue-black cell activator from Atelier. I got this color palette idea from Lisa Marvin. She posted a beautiful bloom, and she does a wonderful job blowing blooms out with her mouth. I do not. So I used a little blower on this, and I overworked the middle trying to get some cells to pop up. But then I wanted to see which complementary colors I had in pigments, because I just wanted to include them. So I don't normally like color match pigments and paint, but in this particular case I looked for pigments I already had mixed up that would be complementary to these colors. So you can see where I over blew out the middle trying to mess with it. Also, I had just mixed that cell activator and it was too thick. So it's still pretty, but I'm going to take the skin off of that. But after this, I thinned it down and had better results. So before we do these same colors with the pigments on the 8-inch wood round Cradled Wood board, we're going to try that on the 4-inch hexagon tile. And I end up making a set of coasters with the hexagon tiles. The first round, I misspoke a minute ago. On the first round, I had not thinned out my cell activator yet. But after I did the bloom, I thinned it out, and I actually ended up making 4 coasters that I liked better than this one. So this one is pretty, but I end up liking them better. So the pigments I used, on top of the magenta, I used Pink Lemonade from Colourarte, which is a glitz color. On top of the Cad Yellow Medium, I used Pineapple Crush, which is also a glitz color, and it's a beautiful color. On top of the Phthalo Turquoise, I used a glitz color called Be Mine, and then I just topped it off with the teal. So that's all I did, is I just found complementary colors. I already had them mixed up. So this was just kind of a fun experiment for me. So you can see that my cell activator is performing well. It's a little bit thick. So when I tried to kind of open up the middle, you can see how thick it is. Excuse me. So I had just mixed it up. So when I'm trying to break the surface tension there, I'm probably overworking a little bit. So this one still turns out really beautiful, but the 4 that I made after I stopped recording, they were really pretty, and so I left those as the set. So I wanted to see that these colors would play well together and not completely change the color scheme, and they didn't. They played well together. They looked great. So you'll have to check out her bloom. I don't know if she recorded it or not, but it's really pretty. So I love the colors. I love how bright and summery and fun they are. So now that we know they're going to work, not the greatest close-up, but we'll do an 8-inch wood round. Okay, so now that we have our colors in mind, we're going to do an 8-inch bloom on this 8-inch Cradled Wood round from Lolivefe. Again, we're using the bright white satin Color Place house paint from Walmart. The more I use this, the more I like it. There was a goober in my paint. And I have a lot of paint on my mat, so I keep repositioning. I really super love the way this comes out. I'd like to do it on a 12-inch round, but I was pretty much out of them. I had to order some more. So our magenta, again, this is Atelier. I get it at Blick. Pretty much all of my regular paints I usually get at Blick. So I have a link in the description box. You're welcome to shop through our link. It helps our channel. It costs you nothing. Pink lemonade from Colourarte. Don't forget about your 20% off coupon code listed below, Mandy1120. And then this is actually a new color I just recently got. This is Matisse Cad Yellow Medium, and I really love Matisse paint, as we know, and I love this shade of yellow. So, and I love the way it played with all the other colors. And Pineapple Crush, which is one of my favorite from Colourarte. And again, super complementary colors, which was great because, like I said, I don't normally match up pigments to kind of corresponding to paint colors, but because I wanted to add some sparkle, I wanted to keep them in the same color family, and they worked great. Phthalo Turquoise, hands down one of my favorite colors of all the time. That one's golden, but I have Atelier Interactive as well, and I love that color as well. And then Golden Teal. Golden Teal, I'm sorry, I forgot. Be Mine from Colourarte, another one of my favorites. Golden Teal is the final one. Now, a word of caution when you're using this color, it takes over most of the time. So be aware when you notice I use it a little more sparingly than the other colors. It's almost completely opaque, if not completely opaque, and it takes over. It is I always jokingly say it's a very self-centered color. It definitely takes over a lot. So if you don't want it to completely dominate, be a little bit sparing with how much you use it. It's a beautiful color, but in a pour like this, you kind of want all of your colors to show. So if I had been really heavy-handed with the Golden Teal, it probably would have completely taken over. And then again, Blue Black Cell Activator. And that's again Atelier Interactive. Another color I get at Blick, and that's probably in my top 3 favorite cell activators so far. And since this is a bigger surface, I'm not going to use the little blower. I'm going to use my travel hair dryer, which I'm getting a little bit better at using, and I'm super happy about that. I still need to practice my Yeehaw because I really want to be able to use all of the tools that I have effectively. So all I'm doing here is just expanding my puddle a little bit to make it easier to blow out with the blow dryer. It didn't start off the greatest, so I tried to recover well. When you're blowing your cell activator, you can see I didn't do the most perfect job, but when you're blowing it, you want to blow it so it kind of glistens across your colors. You don't want to blow down into the center. And I emphasize that a lot because these are things I wish I had understood when I started practicing, because I would watch other people and they would just really fast. And I was like, great. But when I go to do it, it's a complete flippin' disaster. So I try to emphasize those things because when you're practicing, that's one of the things that takes so long to practice is the actual technique. So all I'm doing here is grabbing a couple places where I didn't do the greatest job blowing it out and trying to catch the little bit of cell activator with my breath and blow it gently across the color. And then with the turkey baster, I'm just trying to gently break some of that surface tension to let some of those cells that are there come up from underneath, just because I have a lot of cell activator still in the middle. And there's a couple places I didn't do the greatest job blowing it out, and I'm kind of pointing to that. So I'm going to take a skewer and just kind of draw some detail. Most of it's going to fly off as we spin because we have a lot of paint on here. But just in case, I want to try to touch that up. So I hope you guys really enjoy these colors. When I first saw Lisa's bloom, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to try this. And I knew that obviously mine would be different. And she's hands down way better at blowing them out. I don't blow them out well myself, so I have to use a little tool, but got a little booger in my paint. Not a real booger, you know. Don't start any rumors. A paint booger. So I'm just drawing some little details into those spaces where there's not a lot of cells or lacing. Not a lot of it ends up kind of staying on the surface, but you kind of have to do some of this before you spin out because you're limited to what you can do afterwards. All right, spin, spin, spin. Now the first spin was a little bit swifter than the subsequent spins because we had to get some of that paint off. But after that, all of your spins should be relatively controlled. Oh, so now we're just getting enough paint off. So I know our close-up is coming up. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you like this color scheme? And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Here comes our close-up, everyone. I'm sorry about the messy background, but here's our close-up. Look at that deliciousness. And there's the pigment in there is sparkly and will show a lot more under resin, but I'm glad I kind of stayed with the same shades because I really like the color scheme. But you see it right there. Woohoo! I just love the way this turned out. And I did a voiceover for the rest of it just to keep it from being forever long. This is one of my favorite parts right there. Sorry about my dog moving around. Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. This is another favorite part. Right there. And right there. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.